Welcome back, everyone. P. Don's here, and we are back with another edition of View from the Office, where I break down Steph's most recent WBE match, find out what she did right, what she did wrong, and what we might be able to improve on going forward. So this week, we ended up playing Reversal and his Furious Fishes. You guys might remember that as the team that had the draft of pretty much all water-type Pokemon that Reversal fished up. It was a pretty funny meme at the beginning of the season. Since about week 1 or so, Reversal realized that some things weren't going to go right, so he managed to get a very good front office in, of which I personally know 3 of them. And also, he managed to make a lot of moves that turned his somewhat memey team into a very scary team. He was, despite how that draft looked, he was this close to a really, really solid team. And thanks to the efforts of Reversal and his front office in getting him better, he presented quite a challenge for Week 8. To be frank, we were almost fish food. So I'm gonna go through this and see what we could have done. Alright, so in regards to Steph's team, you have the Cinderace, as she's describing what I just did about the team. Yeah, it is very scary. But yeah, describing the team, we decided to go with a Cinderace, Duraludon, Jellicent, Ribombee, Tangela, and Snorlax. We determined that Duraludon had an incredible matchup against Reversal, so we were planning on focusing on Duraludon from the start. Vivid's match against Reversal in Week 7 ended up going up a little bit late, so we were already in planning stages of what we were doing for Reversal when Vivid starts dropping videos like, Duraludon will destroy Reversal. Can Duraludon tower over Reversal's team? Since he has the G-Max version and we have the Dynamax version. And I have to admit, it was a little bit scary that obviously the match had already been played. Obviously, Reversal knew what he did right, wrong, or whatever in that match. But putting it on such a public focus like that, it was a little bit worrying for our game plan. But at the same time, we also figured that Duraludon had an incredible matchup. Let's use it. So we basically went with the offensive Cinderace as a potential Dynamax option. Couldn't get the Duraludon off that well. Sucker Punch would be helpful if like Poliwrath got going with Swift Swim. Like we could maybe finish it off despite the resist. Exeggutor and Chlorophyll Exeggutor could potentially outspeed, so Sucker Punch would be good there. And really, Cinderace was just there to kick ass and take names. The Duraludon. Get it up. Yeah, it's what we've been running since week 6 really, because it works so well here. The Flash Cannon, beautiful stab. Draco Meteor, beautiful stab. Great max moves. The Thunder, it's a more powerful max lightning for all Reversal's fishes. Plus, the way Reversal's team is set up, we are likely going to have Rain set up from its max moves, so Thunder becomes 100% active in Rain. So, yeah, the Duraludon was definitely the intended centerpiece for this week. Got the nice Tangela here for a bit of redirection. The Jellicent was going to play a more supportive role this week. We figured it could wall Poliwrath. We could burn the Gyarados to make sure Power Whip wasn't doing as much. If Reversal didn't bring the offensive Milotic we were expecting, but rather brought the Coil Hypnosis variant. This Jellicent could wall the Milotic entirely and eventually chip it down. We had to keep it away from Exeggutor though, which was obviously a problem because it was a grass type. Yeah, we could hit it with Shadow Ball, but then it just gets to Leaf Storm in return or something and drops. So we had to be careful of that. The Rabombi, well, speed swap was going to be very important. The Duraludon was able to outspeed max speed Milotic and Gyarados. We EV'd it to outspeed them by 1 and put the rest, I think it was like 28 EVs in special defense, which oddly enough meant that we lived a modest Life Orb max Quake from the Milotic when we were Dynamax, but still outsped the Milotic and Gyarados by 1. So it was a perfect EV spread for this week. Safeguard was used because Reversal had options for status. He had obviously Thunder Wave on Liepard. He also could go Sleep Powder on Exeggutor, and I believe some other of his mons might have had Will-O-Wisp potential. Plus, Poliwrath could have even used Hypnosis. So Safeguard was good there. Helping Hand was in practice crucial for getting some of the KOs in the Milotic or the Gyarados with the Duraludon. As powerful as Max Lightning is against those mons, you give a Gyarados some Assault Vest. Milotic has a lot of special defense. Helping Hand kind of helped us to get around that. And Moonblast, we went back and forth on it, but fortunately for Steph, she decided to leave the Moonblast over going Pollen Puff to potentially like heal Snorlax. And that ended up doing a lot versus Gyarados and Poliwrath. So thank goodness we left that. Just cover the Snorlax a little bit. Just have to find it. There we go. Yeah. So it's a basic Belly Drum set. The obviously Double Edge hits hard. Thunder Punch. Reversal so many water types that normal and electric coverage was pretty sufficient for this week. This was a good option for us, and we could use it even without Belly Drum. But the intent was to do a game plan around Duraludon, so Snorlax, in theory, wasn't going to get too many opportunities to Belly Drum and then go to town, but it was nice to have it as an option. So let's jump right into the battle. So basically, this isn't what we expected. Yeah, Gyarados, Liepard, Milotic, we expect it. Clefable, we expect it. We went back and forth on whether Poliwrath would come. I personally thought it would probably be either Gengar or Exeggutor, because Gengar can do some Icy Wind strats. The Exeggutor hits the Jellicent hard, can get into Trick Room, can drop Sleep Powders, can ignore the Tangela. It was going to be. It was difficult to say which one of those two might have come. We did expect the Unaware Clefable, and then, yeah, with Babiri Berry, and it did end up being that. I found out after the videos went up. But the Graplock we did not expect at all. We didn't even practice a game versus Graplock. Like with the way Cinderace could Airstream it, with the way Duraludon could hit it hard, especially with Rabombi being a thing, with Jellicent being a thing, we just did not expect Graplock to come. As it turns out, I learned this later. They went very hard into preventing the Belly Drum Snorlax, and in the context of that game planning, Graplock made a lot of sense. So it wasn't the best call for the mons we brought, but based on the information they had, I think it was a good call by Reversal to bring it here. Let's jump into the battle. this is basically the game 1 strategy practice. Duraludon Rabombi puts a lot of offensive pressure on Reversal. We can either speed swap or Helping Hand to get some max lightnings off. So we're very comfortable with that. And Cinderace and Snorlax are secondary sweepers we can have in the back. And Snorlax is also a defensive switch because of how bulky it is. Knowing items is very important, but that also means it's very important to concentrate, think about the situation, and write down what you see. You guys will notice shortly that Steph doesn't exactly do that. Alright, so we also thought that the Gyarados might be the Moxie variant. Intimidate was definitely a possibility, but I was able to get some sweeps on Steph in practice with Moxie Gyarados. So seeing Intimidate is a little bit better for us here. Yeah, they both of these Mons are Dynamax options for Reversal, but they typically don't have any synergy with each other in this matchup. So either Reversal led wrong or something is up here. And as it turns out, it's choice B. Something is up here. The Dynamax here is proper. Our Duraludon outspeeds the Gyarados and Milotic by 1. Surprised that one of them is Dynamaxing. And it's the Milotic. We practice a lot of Dynamaxing Milotic in practice. Offensive Milotic we felt was the best answer to the Duraludon. Here. Basically, we practice Gengar plus Milotic in some of our sets. The Gengar would go for Icy Wind, and we would be able to, and I would then be able to Max Quake the Duraludon and get some KOs with it, the Milotic. We didn't see the Gengar on the team with Reversal, but they went a different direction and chose to go Choice Scarf Gyarados with the Milotic and to get Icy Wind off, which I think is actually brilliant. It essentially catches us by surprise because we expect Gyarados to be a realistic Dynamax option along with the Milotic. It also allows the Milotic to outspeed the Duraludon and to hammer home Max Quake. Depending on what Reversal has on the Gyarados as well, he can also withdraw it at some point and bring it back in and threaten a Waterfall or Power Whip or something late game. So this was excellent team planning. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that Steph picks up that this is Scarf. Alright. So this was a proper turn for Steph. We didn't expect it to be Scarf Gyarados, but everything Steph did with the information she had was right. But at this point, we know it's a Scarf Gyarados. So, what are you going to do about it, Steph? That's fine. This was honestly a dead turn. I think the safeguard is justifiable. You don't know the live part is in the back yet. You don't know Poliwrath is in Rosis. You also don't want to switch the Ribombee into a Cinderace and get Max Geyser by the Milotic or something. But it was a tough spot. But I think a switch to Snorlax from the Ribombee is now justifiable. It's very likely that the Duraludon goes down here. You could potentially save it for later if you want to switch out Snorlax. But Duraludon, for the most part, has done what it could. And it might be better to prioritize what else we have in the back to try to win this mid to late game. Yeah, the Scarf Gyarados definitely needs to be addressed going forward. So the Duraludon basically stuck around to wipe out Milotic's Max. Is what it is. It could have been better, but Steph, with the information she had, made reasonable plays. I think either Snorlax or Cinderace is justifiable. Like, Snorlax is definitely going to take damage from the Milotic, and reversal, at some point, you would think we'd switch out the Gyarados. So, you want to make sure that the Snorlax gets in as healthy as it can be for the late game. And Cinderace can change its type to kind of survive the Milotic a bit better. I am a little surprised the Milotic swapped out. I would have thought it would be Gyarados, but preserving the Milotic isn't terrible for Rev. He just has a Gyarados that keeps Icy Winding. Essentially, that's kind of a dead slot, so Steph needs to find a way to take advantage. And going for the Moonblast into that slot, yeah, she could have proc competitive on the Milotic, but you get the damage off. You're hitting the offensive threat at the moment. It's a fine play. Steph can maybe make a call here of something else coming into the Gyarados slot. Or she can position herself a little bit better for the late game because Liepard and Gyarados aren't really offensive threats at the moment. So this is relatively safe to get Snorlax in. So I do like this play. Snorlax becomes the fastest thing on the field now, essentially. But seeing that Rain Dance makes me believe Poliwrath is in the back, and that is a threat. Poliwrath has, as you guys probably know, gets the Swift Swim ability, and that will double Poliwrath's speed, which will make it faster than anything we have on the team. This is still a reasonable position. We could potentially belly drum, but we need to worry about Liepard foul playing on the way out. The Gyarados has been sitting there for ages. Maybe it's time to take a KO there. Like, Steph could get 2 KOs this turn if she Moonblast, Snorlax Thunder Punches, and Reversal doesn't switch. Which is very possible, as Milotic and likely Poliwrath in the back coming in healthy is nice for Reversal. So yeah, we are gonna see the taunt there as well, which is another way to stop belly drum. So it's a good thing Steph didn't go for the belly drum. Just taking the 2 KOs in front of her gives her the ability to get a better position going into the endgame. This game's not over yet though, because Steph gets 2 KOs and Steph gets reasonable positioning, but Reversal gets Milotic and likely Poliwrath in for free. So yeah, Milotic comes back in, and it is the Poliwrath. So this is a water fighting type against a Frail Fairy, a normal type, and a fire type in the back. This game is going to be very close. If I'm Steph, I'd probably try to get rid of the Milotic to try to force a 3-on-1 endgame. Yeah, we speculated. No. Steph correctly speculated with the bulk that the Milotic had, that it probably wasn't carrying Protect. But as it turns out, it wasn't Assault Vest, but it didn't have Protect. So she was able to at least ascertain what the Milotic could be doing, and that definitely helped her game plan. So Thunder Punch into the Milotic, and the Moonblast into the Poliwrath. Okay, so this is another thing Steph sometimes does, and I am trying to coach her out of it. Sometimes you need to double into something and take a calculated risk to get the KO. Like, yeah, spreading the damage is good, typically, but here, Poliwrath is not winning a 3-on-1. By leaving the Milotic alive, it gives Reversal the opportunity to land the Hydro Pump here and win this game. Fortunately, he goes for Ice Beam because he doesn't want to miss, and Ribombee is able to live and get a Moonblast into the Poliwrath. This kind of closes up the game, actually. Essentially, we can now Sucker Punch the Milotic and Moonblast the Poliwrath, and at least on paper, we should be fine. A fun thing about this situation, it wasn't actually a guaranteed win for us. The Milotic, as I said, was not actually Assault Vest. It was carrying Haze for the Snorlax matchup. Something very creative Reversal could have done here was to essentially call that the Cinderace was going to Sucker Punch the Milotic, Haze with Milotic, so Sucker Punch fails, and use Poliwrath to take out Ribombee. If it does that, Cinderace cannot KO both Pokemon, and Reversal would have taken the game. So, Steph made the right play. Steph played this endgame. Once she killed the Milotic, she played this endgame well, but it was not entirely 100% won for us. Reversal did have an out. And yeah, Steph kind of forgot about the Swift Swim on Poliwrath. We did practice it, but Poliwrath wasn't the main focus of the week, so probably wasn't internalized as well. I'll have to make sure it's a little bit different going forward for other months. Yeah, we take game 1. Let's jump to game 2. Okay, so we have the Gyarados stuff. We saw the Poliwrath. What could possibly change? Graplock probably isn't coming the way we play that one. Could Clefable come? Or does Reversal have his 4? It's tough to say. Based on how that went, I would probably lead the same way and take out the Gyarados if he leads it again. It basically says we could have played it a little better, but we are happy with what we brought, and we want to see how you adjust, because we're up 1-0 now, and there are ways where that game could have been comfortably ours instead of the end game that it ended up being, where it ended up being very close. So I think I would do the same thing and try to force Reversal to adapt. However, changing up from the Rabombi to Tangela is very understandable and is an acceptable adjustment while still keeping the same strategy. Alright, same lead. At this point, I basically just take out the Gyarados and try to go from there. The Gyarados, as it turns out, is the engine that is making this lead, and his backmons kind of work. Take out the Gyarados now, you're set for the rest of the game. Maybe set for the rest of the game is a little too optimistic, but you're in a much better position, and you can potentially deal with the Swift Swim Poliwrath. Understandable play. That's still not bad though. Liepard is annoying as well, and we can break the sash and we can finish it off next turn. That's fine. Alright, seeing this makes me believe that he wants to Dynamax Poliwrath. So I would already be planning for that kind of endgame, where we are able to get around the Poliwrath as a Dynamax mon. Alright, so this is likely Rain Dance and maybe Mudshot, maybe maybe Ice Beam. I take the 2 KOs here. I disagree with this one because we've already shown that the Liepard is more supportive. So basically, by taking the 2 KOs here, you kind of corner the Gyarados and the Poliwrath. You would get it in such a way that assuming the Liepard Rain Dances, KO the Liepard, the Melodic should go down, and Gyarados and basically the Poliwrath would go first, which means Tangela could in theory redirect even though it got taunted, and then the Gyarados would be attacking the Duraludon, but the Poliwrath would have had to KO the Tangela first. So that's a third backslide into the Gyarados, and you basically force a 3-on-1. Reversal was smart by taunting there, which prevents this kind of... It does prevent this kind of scenario, which means the Gyarados would go first, and then the Poliwrath. But because Steph left the Liepard alive, instead of taking the 2 KOs here, the Liepard is now able to set up Rain Dance, and Reversal is able to Dynamax this Poliwrath, which could cause us a lot of pain. That previous turn, Steph needs to take 2 KOs. Or at least try to take 2 KOs. Yeah, in this current situation, Liepard isn't doing much, so doubling the Poliwrath is probably a good idea. More optimally, the Liepard would have fainted last turn, but because it's still on the field and it's not doing too much, double the Poliwrath. Expected Rain Dance means Poliwrath's the fastest thing on either team. That will hurt Duraludon, but we live. Lightning and Leaf Storm, they should KO. Especially with terrain. Alright, but seeing that kind of damage, I get a little suspicious. And seeing that Poliwrath survive bolt attacks, even as Dynamax, this makes me believe that the Poliwrath is Assault Vest. So at this point, Duraludon's going down. So I just let the Duraludon drop, I guess. I Thunder the Poliwrath just in case, and I swap out Tangela because we're Regenerator and we're -2. So let's get the health back and bring in probably Snorlax or something. Maybe Cinderace, but I think Snorlax is probably a little bit better to bring in because it will be able to take a hit. Yeah, going after the Liepard here is a bad play. The Liepard is just sitting there. It's not really doing anything. Maybe it can foul play. Or a Snarl or something. The Poliwrath is the threat. And yeah, it does have foul play. So this is potential for game 3. We have to worry about belly drum in front of Lipard, because foul play will chunk the Snorlax a lot. But yeah, Lipard was not doing anything. Lipard should not be targeted there. The Poliwrath is still the target. This allows Reversal to bring in his Scarf Gyarados for essentially nothing. And the Poliwrath is still in Rain, still in Dynamax, still boosting. It's poised right now to sweep. I don't think either target matters, to be honest. Tangela and Duraludon are probably going down here. But if we were to swap out the Tangela for Cinderace here, and Duraludon and Cinderace drop, Tangela Snorlax could still win this endgame. Alright, so the Waterfall KOs. In Rain with 2 boosts. We are -2 and we're still taunted. Alright, the taunt is gone at least. But the Tangela really needed to swap. We could still kind of get it right by swapping in the Cinderace here. No, sorry, by swapping the Snorlax in, and then swapping out the Tangela for the Cinderace. So, the Snorlax has to protect here. The Drain Punch is going to increase Poliwrath's health so much, and possibly wipe out the Snorlax based on the boost it got. And then you hope the Gyarados Waterfalls into the Cinderace, which could swap in for the Tangela. You get that KO, and then you bring the Tangela back in, and then you use Snorlax to Thunder Punch the Poliwrath, setting up a 1v1 Snorlax versus Gyarados. Rage Powder is okay, except the Gyarados is faster than the Poliwrath, even in the rain. So that's also good EVing by Reversal. And that was absolutely destructive. This shows that you have to pay attention to everything going on in game, write everything down if you need to, and think long and hard about positioning. Steph made a lot of unforced errors in game 2, which could have been prevented. I will always compliment her when she does well, and I love to see it. But when things go wrong, they will also be pointed out, and we will work harder to correct them for next time. And this game 2 endgame was a disaster. Fortunately, because she did win game 1, she is going to get a chance for redemption in game 3. Here it's pretty much over. I would maybe sucker punch the Poliwrath to maybe try to beat it with a crit, but there's not much you can really do here. So at this point, if you have a game like this, in an actual tournament, don't start the next game immediately. Take a breather, gather your thoughts, think about it. Like, try to relax as best you can. Maybe do a bit of breathing, and then when you're in a better frame of mind and ready to go, then you start the next game. Yep, and if you're playing an online tournament or an online best of 3 or something like this, you have a game that ends up like this, like go grab a cup of water or something. Like just take a breather for a minute or two, get yourself back in the right position, and get ready to go for game 3. These things happen in Pokemon, and how you react to them is a big determination on whether or not you'll be successful. And to be quite honest, I'm not the best person in these kinds of situations. So Steph's attitude is a lot better than mine, so she has a better chance to be successful. And so let's see how she does. Alright, so with the threat that the Poliwrath was, it's okay to go through for the Rabombi, but also with what Reversal has been bringing, finding a way to get Jellicent into this game, which basically walls Poliwrath, kind of walls Milotic. With Scarf Gyarados, maybe you could pin it into not using Power Whip. Yeah, Jellicent would be a great bring here. I'm just not 100% sure what you can place. Maybe the Cinderace? But Cinderace is another Dynamax option as well. You need the Rabombi or the Tangela to get the Steam to work, and Duraludon and Snorlax are crucial. But yeah, the Reversal leads all 3 games. And we are back to game 1. At this point, I blow up the Gyarados. It gets 1 Icy Wind, and then it's done. And as a matter of fact, I would not speed swap here either. I would wait until the next turn to speed swap. Because actually, I don't think the speed swap mechanic works that way. But regardless, I still wouldn't speed swap. I think Helping Hand and Max Lightning for something is a good call. So regardless, the Duraludon is going to do a decent amount of damage to one of these mons. Both of these mons are Dynamax options, so as we covered in game 1. So that's why I think a Helping Hand Max Lightning would be better. And it's going to be the Milotic again. This at least takes Poliwrath out of the equation, which could get very messy for us. Icy Wind again. Yeah, 45% from a blast is really good. Alright, the Quake goes off again. Alright, so that's going to be about the same for about 30% on the Milotic. I still like KO in the Gyarados there, I think. Like, it's a Dynamax option, obviously, but it can come back later and deal out some Choice Scarf physical damage. So, like, it's a good idea to get rid of it now, because Snorlax can help to wall the Milotic, and perhaps for late game, maybe you maybe you could withdraw the Duraludon, and you have a Mon that could kind of finish things off late game. Alright, so Reversal realizes that the leaving the Gyarados out the way he did in the previous games would be a problem. So he's able to get the Poliwrath in once Gyarados did its job and reposition himself. Also, with the damage that the Moonblast did on Poliwrath, that would basically confirm to me for sure that it's an Assault Vest Poliwrath. Meaning hitting that slot is fine. Yeah, this turn is fine. Forces the Milotic to take out the Duraludon, or it's going to take Max Lightning, and Ribombee gets nice damage onto the Poliwrath with the Blast. As it turns out, that was a crit. We think it mattered. Had that not been a crit, the Poliwrath is pinned by Sucker Punch, fortunately. And Reversal actually goes into the Ribombee. So, essentially, this means that the Duraludon gets the Max Lightning off. Also, with that KO, had we not crit the Poliwrath, and assuming the roll wasn't proper, that turn would have gone Milotic. No, the Ribombee does the Moonblast. Milotic then KOs the Ribombee. Then the Rain comes out and guarantees Poliwrath is faster than the Duraludon, and then Drain Punch KOs the Duraludon. That crit might have cost Reversal the second KO. So, both teams have their Dynamax end. At this point, you can force the Gyarados into one move for the rest of the game. So, I'm going Thunder into the Gyarados and Thunder Punch into the Milotic. We've gotten rid of the Poliwrath, so it is likely Liepard in the back. So, doing this forces Gyarados plus Liepard in, probably, for best case. No, not best case, most likely case. Which is still good for us. Alright, Reversal actually goes to save the Milotic. I'm not entirely sure I agree with that one, because it's a free hit on the Liepard. But by Steph does protect the Duraludon. And it does turn out to be right. And yeah, breaks the sash. Alright, so the Thunder Punch now should be able to KO the Gyarados. And you at least try to get rid of the Liepard. I would Flash Cannon the Liepard and Thunder Punch the Gyarados. Realistically, the Duraludon is probably not going to live this turn. But if it does, then you can get rid of the Liepard. It does have the Fake Out, which was not revealed up to that point. So, good job hiding information from Reversal. And our Duraludon goes down. Electricity. Alright, so this is a tough endgame. It's definitely winnable, though. You Sucker Punch the Gyarados to turn yourself into a Dark type, and you Double Edge the Liepard to try to kill it. Sucker Punch should be a 2-shot on the Gyarados, And the double edge might be able to take out the live part. I can definitely understand doubling into the Gyarados though. Alright. I feel like there wasn't the opportunity to set up Belly Drum there, so I probably wouldn't have taunted. Okay, so that's not all. In how this would have worked out, if I was doing that turn, the live part would probably be in low yellow or high red, and the Gyarados would probably be in, like, as you saw, like, low health. So Sucker Punch and Double Edge again would be able to KO it. And if he swapped out the Gyarados to save it, we could even double up into that slot and KO the Milotic that came in, meaning it would be a Gyarados, low health Gyarados, and low health Liepard endgame. Here though, you Sucker Punch the Milotic and you double edge the Liepard. That's a KO, which is good. Foul play into the Snorlax, and Double Edge should be enough. But we are -1, so it's not, which means Cinderace is going to get their padded stats. Okay, so overall, Steph played a reasonable game 1. Steph played a reasonable game 3. It would have been interesting to see how this game would have developed if the Ribombee had not crit. There's a chance I think the Poliwrath would have gone down. I don't think it was in our favor, and I would have liked to have seen how we handled a 4-on-2 situation. Like if Reversal didn't get crit there, I still feel like we could have won, but I would have liked to have seen how we could have gone about that. The game 2 was just not good, and hopefully Steph will be able to learn from it, like being able to keep track of time, her notes, how to play under pressure, thinking about the game states. She's done an overall good job of it throughout the WB season and has definitely developed it during it. But the game 2 was a kind of a step back in that regard. But she was able to correct it for game 3, so there's definitely credit to be had there. In regards to Reversal's team, I ended up talking with some members of his front office, which I'm friends with a bunch of them in VGC, and they went very hard into us setting up Belly Drum Snorlax. Like, you saw the taunt on the live part, you saw the foul play on the live part. The Wrap Lock apparently had taunt and close combat and room service, so the Wrap Lock would underspeed the Snorlax if we got a Trick Room. The live part was obviously able to KO the Snorlax with foul play and stop the Belly Drum to begin with. Poliwrath, Drain Punch was a problem, and they developed a good strategy to deal with the Rowlon game. So yeah, like Reversal was someone who started out pretty much just as a Pokemon Go personality at the beginning of this league. He in combination with his front office and his commitment to doing this, he's turned into a pretty good player, I think, and he definitely had opportunities to win this set. Fortunately, we came out on top, and we are going to try to correct some of these issues for our match against boys. But I do have to give a shout out to Reversal, along with his front office, Sohaib, Tommy, Richard, and David, because they came with a very good game plan this week, and it's not so much that it was the wrong game plan. We just went in a different direction, and that ended up benefiting us greatly. So yeah, we're 2-6 right now, but we're on a 2-game winning streak, and 8th place as of this recording has 3 wins. I'm not going to say that word just yet, but maybe we're not dead. Maybe reports of our demise have been greatly exaggerated. Let's find out when our battle is against boys is complete and the rest of the and the rest of the results come in. But so long as there's something to play for, which includes getting Steph better and getting her more acquainted with the game of BGC, I will be working as hard as I can to help her, and she'll be putting time into practice and stuff to give the league and herself as best of a showing as she can. So with that, I will see you guys next week. This is P-Dons, and I'll see you all later.